we say Glasgow City Chambers. And so in maybe your country, well, in London, you have a mayor, okay? A mayor is like the leader or the boss of the town or the city, yeah? But in Glasgow, we don't say mayor, we say Lord Provost, okay? So the Lord Provost, basically if you're opening a hospital, they open the hospital. Or if someone is visiting from a different country, they show them Glasgow, yeah? They show them nice things. So they are a normal person. It can be anyone who lives in Glasgow, yeah? I think to Lord's Provost, she was from a different country. I can't remember, it was Hungary or something, but she was from a different country. So the Lord Provost, when he says Lord Provost, that's what he means. He means the mayor, okay? But we have a different name in Glasgow. And here it's Glasgow City Council. So when they are having their discussion, so in London you have the government, in Edinburgh you have the Parliament, and in Glasgow and Edinburgh, well, other cities, you have, for the council, you have the council meetings, okay? So they have meetings and they talk about things in Glasgow, problems in Glasgow, things you have to spend money on, all that kind of thing. Also, when we go into the rooms, so if you visit this, you can visit another time as well with your family. They have Monday to Friday, they have, I don't know if it's 10 o'clock or half 10 and 2 o'clock or half 2, but they have free tours, but you have to book because if there are other tourists, there's only like 10, 12 people. So you can go with your friends and family, but it's only twice a day. It's not twice a day, and it's Monday to Friday, okay? Twice a day. It's 10ish, I don't know if it's 10 or 10:30 and 2 or 2:30, unless they have a big event. If they have a big event, then they don't do tours. And even today, so sometimes when we come here we can see all the rooms, sometimes they have an event so we can only see some rooms. So even if you've been before, it's good to go back because the tour guide, they give you different information each time. I have been many times and I learn new things, yeah? It's good for your English, so don't be shy. If you don't understand them, just ask the question, or if you don't know what he's talking about, just say, what does that mean? You know, if he says a word or you don't know, just ask him, okay? Also, please don't look at your, you can take photos without the flash, but when he's talking, don't be looking at your phone, or don't talk to your friends in your language, because it's really rude, okay? So, that's it. And that's the war memorial. You see with the lions here, that's to remember the people who died in the war. Okay, so we'll go in.
Oh.
Take care.
No problem. Лани, вставай рядом. Темпо, темпо, ребята.
Спасибо, товарищ.
It's a Glasgow coat of arms. You know this? Yeah.
Добро пожаловать в городские палаты Глазго. Вы можете находиться только на нижнем этаже здания. Бесплатные экскурсии проводятся с понедельника по пятницу с 10:30 до 14:30. Фотосъемка разрешена. Ура! Who is? Нельсон Мандела. Вот. Я в темных очках не узнал. Ali, smile. Smile.
Oh. Oh my goodness. Well, all good, all good. All ready for your tour?
Yep.
No bother
There's
at all.
one person who might join us later.
Okay, that's fine. So somebody will radio and I'll pick up my radios. That's fine. They'll just send them up and I'll tell them where we are.
Great, thanks.
Okay, okay.
Could you want to come closer?
No, no, well, so we're just going to go round. If you follow me, we're just going to go round to one of the side bits of the way to the room and we'll do a quick health and safety briefing. We'll take roughly about 2 minutes and then I'll tell you what we're going to do in our tour and what you're going to see and take as many pictures as you like. Okay? Yeah. If you like to follow me, please, that'd be great. Thank you very much. That's perfect. Okay. Well, very first of all, a very warm welcome to the City Chambers on behalf of the Lord Provost and the Glasgow City Council. Very warm welcome. My name's James. I'm an employee here with Glasgow, with the City Chambers, at the City Chambers here, and it's my great pleasure to take you around the building today. Okay, so the tour will take us about 45 minutes, absolute maximum. Now, for health and safety stuff, I don't expect a fire alarm to go off today. However, if there is a fire alarm going off today, then it'll be down to myself to direct you down to the nearest fire exit, which is one of these staircases or evacuation from the other side. Okay? But I'll be, if there's any fire alarm goes off, it'll be my direction, it'll break you down, so don't worry about anything. So, one question, we are climbing a lot of stairs, so has anybody got any medical issues? Now, for instance, heart conditions, any respiratory stuff, any asthma, anything like that that stops you climbing upstairs? Is everybody?
Are you okay with the stairs or it's... You're sure?
We don't really go at a fast pace, we're at a slow pace, but if you've got anything like a reliever inhaler or anything like that, you can take it if anything happens to yourself. So I'm a first aider in the building, so if you are feeling unwell, please now, you can say to myself that I'm feeling unwell, we can have a seat somewhere and give you a wee glass of water or something. Is that okay? No bother. Okay. Okay, no bother. Okay, alright. So how we're basically going to do it is we're going to go up this staircase here. We call this the working staircase, and we'll go up to the second floor. We'll walk all the way through, right along the corridor, into some of the fantastic rooms that are on the second floor. And then we'll make our way up to the third floor, which is the last part, which is called the Picture Gallery, which is where all the paintings are, all the previous historical Lord Provosts within the Glasgow history. As you probably well know, Glasgow is 850 years old this year, so it's fantastic. So it's a really good time to be in Glasgow. Lots of different things happening in Glasgow at this present moment in time. So, and I'll tell you about some interesting facts as we go along. Is that okay? Yes. No, so if everybody would like to, is everybody okay? Ready to go? Yes. No, if you'd like to follow me, we'll make our way up to the first point, okay?
Sorry, may I ask some
Yes, of course.
question, please? I'm Lani. I'm from Greece. I saw before the statues, the former South Africa, Nelson Mandela. Can you explain me, please?
Okay, so Nelson Mandela, he got the freedom of the city. So we basically, so Glasgow at that period of time during apartheid, so we had a...
I know the story.
Yeah, you know about it. Well, basically, so Nelson Mandela was welcomed across to the city, and he was welcomed into the City Chambers where he greeted a lot of people outside in George Square at that time. Tens of thousands of people came to see Nelson Mandela in Glasgow at that time. It was a massive thing. And everybody else will make our way up to the first floor, which is the first point, obviously, of information.
You want to go up a lift?
Yeah. It is. So the lift obviously doesn't take you to the first floor, it only takes you to the second, so somebody obviously will need to take you around in the lift and then go up to number 2 and wait for the rest of the party. Yeah, Derek, if you don't mind, there's just this gentleman here. What floor you want to? 2. Thanks, Derek.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's like the follow me. I'm going to give you a wee bit of history on the architect of the building and how long it took and who opened the building in 1888. So the architect was a gentleman called William Young, and he was from Glasgow but he lived in London. So he basically put himself forward in a competition, way back in the 1800s to do the drawings and to put a project forward for this building that was getting created. Now at that time Glasgow was the second most prosperous city in the British Empire, the old British Empire. London was the first, Glasgow was number 2. So we had plenty of money, and the people who ran Glasgow at that time, the merchants and so forth, had plenty of money, and they wanted to leave a legacy for the people of Glasgow, so hence the reason they built this beautiful building. So William Young basically got the drawings. So once he got the drawings of the picture, he basically submitted them, he won the competition. So 5 years later, so from 1883, from the first foundation stone being put in place, 5 years down the line, the building was then completed, and it was Queen Victoria, who is the Queen's grandmother. So Queen Victoria came up to Glasgow and opened the building on the 21st of August 1888. Huge deal, very similar to what Nelson Mandela was talking about earlier. There was 250,000 people came to Glasgow. Now, 250,000 people from Glasgow and outside Glasgow, parts of Edinburgh, all came down to see Queen Victoria open this fantastic building, because it was a massive deal for Scotland, a massive deal for Glasgow. So that's basically the history of why the building was obviously, it was made for the people of Glasgow, and it was obviously at that time the chief executives and the councillors that ran the government of the local government, obviously in Glasgow, are based here. So on this floor here, this is mainly offices. So behind the walls here, there's lots of different big offices, and it's where obviously the high executives and the councillors that run the council are all got their offices and all based here. So this is what the purpose of the building is. Okay. We also do lots of different hospitality in the building as well. So in the second floor, it's all to do with, we'll get multifunctional rooms where we do big hospitality. Like for last Sunday there, it was Chinese New Year. So we had 550 people in the building for Chinese New Year. Fantastic. Anyway, I'm going to tell you a really wonderful story about this. So during the course of the building was opened, there was a ceremony taking place inside the building, and the building got blessed for good luck and fortune. So we have this here is our line of protection. So it's a single piece of Carrara marble which came from Italy. Okay, it's hand carved and it sits on here. And the superstition, you know what superstition is, right? So superstition. When I started working here, the superstition was 6:30 AM. So every 6:30 AM we come in here, and I'll basically rub the lion's nose. So, and I get that for good luck. So my good luck is, obviously, back in the day we had a term of conflict, 39 to 45, where Britain was in conflict and a war. Must have been a horrendous time, and that must have been pretty good for your superstition to say coming in, rub the lion's nose, and know for a fact you're getting a wee bit luck, protect the building against bombing and so forth. So, but nowadays, from this day in 2025, so basically what I do now is I just do the lottery numbers. So I'm looking for the lottery numbers. So every time I come in the morning, I rub the lion's nose and I go, right, 6 numbers, 6 numbers, 6 numbers. So far it's not been lucky for me, but it might be lucky for you. I mean, it could be lucky for you. It could be the case where you come in and you say, right, give me 6 numbers, and surprise, you might get 6 numbers. So if you do get 6 numbers, please remind me. I'm James, okay? Please say, James, okay? So that guy, James, maybe the good luck. I'll share my fortune with him. That'd be really nice of you, and I can take some time off work. So if anybody wants to take their picture or rub the lion's nose, that's the story about the lucky lion of protection in the city chambers. Okay, so there you are. Anybody want to do that before we move on? Nobody? Okay, nobody getting.
Take a picture. I want to be a millionaire.
If you touch,
I want to be
you
a
speak
millionaire.
fluent English.
Sorry.
First citizen of Glasgow becomes a position. So our first citizen of Glasgow is called a Lord Provost. So, and she's basically the ceremonial head of Glasgow. So it's a ceremonial position. She puts a ceremonial chain of office, and when she is in that position for hospitality and ceremonial duties for delegates all around the world, it's her position as the first citizen of Glasgow or the Lord Provost. And if so our Lord Provost is a female, and it's Jacqueline McLaren. is our Lord Provost. So when Jackie McClan came out of her office to now, the office is right behind you. So if she came out of her office, I would greet her as Lord Provost. I would say, good afternoon, Lord Provost. Even though she's a lady, she still gets called Lord Provost because it's the first position of Glasgow. So she's the first citizen. So there's normally 3 different people who take on first, second and third citizens. So you've got the Lord Provost, who's the first citizen, you've got the Lord Dean of Guild, who's the second citizen, and you've got the Deacon Convener, who look after trades and merchants and various different things historically, but they still take on the same positions. And when we have large, like the royal family come and visit and so forth, we have large hospitality events in here, they all put the chains of office on, and they all represent obviously the city of Glasgow to the people that are in the hospitality area. Okay, so that's where her office is, and this is where a lot of things happen. This corridor here, that's the councillor's corridor. In there basically there's lots of different committee rooms. So the committee rooms are used for all different purposes, for meetings and political meetings and non-political area meetings to do with what's happening with your council tax and so forth. But a lot of the bigger meetings that we have for the whole of the city are kept in the next room. So the next room we're going to take you into is the council chamber, which is fantastic. It looks like a very small version of the House of Lords when you see on the TV, and that's where we're going to go next. So, and you'll please take loads of pictures. Fantastic room. One will take you in there next. And come folks, have a seat. Have a seat. Have a seat inside the benches. Have a seat on the benches. Come in and have a seat on the benches. Please come in and have a seat on the benches. Have a seat on the benches. Please come in and have a seat. Please come in and have a seat.
О, иди он на место председателя.
Please come in and have a seat.
Can you sit on that chair? Mr. Davis, please.
No, no.
Please. Fantastic. Cheers.
I know. We'll get to that in a wee minute. Now, give us 2 seconds. We'll give everybody a wee opportunity up here. So, this is a room called the council chamber, and this is where the 86 elected members come and meet every 6 to 8 weeks for various different topics to do with Glasgow. So, anything, as I said earlier, anything from your bins needing uplifted, to potholes, to council tax, to how much a rent costs, and how much infrastructure they're going to put in place for development and so forth, with social housing. Anything to do with Glasgow gets debated in here. So there's all different political parties, and each of the elected members from those political parties will sit in the designated areas. Okay? They'll all sit in the areas. So you might have Labour Party, you might have the Scottish Nationalists, you might have some Greens, and you've got no Conservatives any longer. They used to have 2, but now we have none. So there are no elected members for the Conservative Party in Scotland at all. In Glasgow, there is some obviously in Edinburgh, but no longer any in Glasgow. So the 3 main parties is the Labour Party, the Scottish Nationalist Party, and the Greens. That's your political parties. Now, for yourselves, all doing ESOL at college, well done, fantastic to go. Have you all went through your British citizenship ceremony yet? Have you done that yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. But you've applied to go through to become British citizens. Yeah, that's great, because obviously Glasgow is very welcoming to every culture from all over the world, and it's a very welcoming city. And it's really good to have now lots of people to come in and have fresh ideas, because your ideas from your country will be different from ours in Scotland. Obviously, we'll have different ideas, so it's all to do with multiculturalism, which is great. So when you become a British citizen, you'll come to the city chambers here, one part of it, or the big hall, and you'll have your ceremony. Whoops, sorry, my phone's just ringing. Unbelievable. They'll, where was it? Oh, as British citizens. Right, so you'll get your ceremony in here. So basically, your ceremony will be based in the city chambers here, where you'll go through basically a short event, roughly about an hour. And at the end of it, you'll get a lovely certificate to say, obviously, you're a British citizen and you can get to vote. And being able to vote democratically is hugely important, because obviously whatever you cast your vote sometimes will benefit everybody in your community, including yourself, in relating to all the issues I just spoke about, like council tax and rents and various different infrastructure and social housing, things that are important. And if you've got a vote, you can vote for that to say, yeah, I really like that policy. So once you get your British citizenship, make sure you get yourselves on the voters' roll so you can make a democratic vote. It's very good. So anyway, I went off on a wee tangent here. So we have a lovely seat here. So this seat here was donated by Queen Victoria in 1887, and then the building opened in 1888. So 1 year basically before the building opened, Queen Victoria said, here, we're going to give you this beautiful chair. So it's 137 years old. So that chair there, and basically the Lord Provost of Glasgow sits on the chair and basically oversees the meeting. So she's in charge of the meeting. And she sits on the chair along with a few other assistants and a few assistants down here. And they basically speak about everything that happens within the city chambers. So now we're going to give you a wee chance. If somebody wants to take pictures, I'll take pictures through using your phone. If anybody wants to come up and have a wee sit-in on top of the chair there, I'll take a picture of you sitting in the Lord Provost chair. You can be a Lord Provost for at least 10 seconds.
Give your phone to take a picture.
There you are. The only thing I can think of, the mics are not on. So the only thing I think of, if you're sitting on the chair or standing up, you've got to tell me something. If you were the Lord Provost of Glasgow, what would be your proclamation? What would be a thing you would like to bring to the city? If you were the Lord Provost of Glasgow, you would pay the teacher double wages. So if I was a Lord Provost, you would pay your teacher double pay.
Welcome, gentlemen and women. I'm very happy today. That's a fantastic day. I think I hopefully I can I have say with the president or anything for the place. I don't know what you say, but
I think you're doing very well. Well done. Anybody else?
I can help anybody you need. You meet with the future, your president. Hello everyone. Welcome. Thank you, Mr. Davis. Thank you.
Anybody else?
The new
You like
president.
somebody else going up?
Sure.
Well done, sir. You look very official. Well done, you look very official.
Next.
Then you make that woman
You
on
can
the
stand or you
Scotland.
can sit. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Time is next.
Okay, I'll try.
Might never get another opportunity to sit in this wonderful chair.
Excuse me. One more photo. No problem.
So you put that in your
Good.
TikTok.
Next.
TikTok
Next.
profile. Go into Glasgow and look at me now.
Send me later, okay?
Vani.
Well, this man looks business. He looks right. I can tell here.
Hello everyone.
That's it.
I'm glad to be here in Scotland because it's the best city for me. It's the people is friendly. I'm happy here.
Good. Very good. Thank you very much for that. Takes a lot of confidence to go up there and speak in front of people. It's a lot of confidence. You need a lot of confidence, which is good. Here's another man looking business-like. He's full of business. I know.
I don't talk too much. I'm just like finish this class and go to Glasgow University, and I come back here with my Glasgow University class.
Degree.
Lani, for you bad photo.
There you are, there we go. Go here. That's it, here we go. We're opening speech, here we go.
Hi everybody. First of
Hello.
all, thank you for giving me this chance. I like it. I mean, I'm so amazing about this one. I don't know. I can't explain how it.
Very impressive, isn't it? Very impressive, isn't it?
Bad photo for you. New photo for you, bad photo. Ну давай, Ali. No problem.
We'll get 2 more minutes here, then we'll have to move on to another room, okay?
Say something, Alice. Say something. Say something.
That's it.
Lani,
I can see you running the council soon.
for you bad photo.
The wallpaper's leather at the top, yeah.
See the wallpaper? That's leather, you know, from the cow.
Leather wallpaper. So it's got gold leaf. It's got gold leaf, so there's a... So I'll give you the numbers. So when the building first got built, it was £578,000.
After going.
That was the cost of the building, including the fixtures and fittings. The building got
No, sit down.
insured a few years ago, not that long, just before COVID, by the insurance properties, and it's worth £230 million now. So it's so the building's worth £230
No
million.
problem. Change people.
So it's worth over
£10 one photo.
So to replace this building would cost you over
Buenas, ¿cuándo es que? ¿Cómo que nada? نعمل حالك ميسي لو هلا فوق.
all into force that down. That's it.
Who is? Kitchen?
What?
Is restaurant.
Eating. Eating in the restaurant? Did you see before in the restaurant?
Hi.
Purposely built with the roof, which is oval at the front, at the top here, and it's for acoustics. And basically, we do a lot of theatre, we do a lot of art, we do a lot of music events in here. Anything that's culturally large events in here, we do a lot of events in here relating to for the city of Glasgow for people to come and see. So we do now Puccini, we do operas, we do concerts, we do Céilís, which are Scottish dancing. So we do lots of different events in here with music and art. And you can see there a lot of performers on the stages there, and you can see by my voice the way it's projecting in the room there. It's got fantastic acoustics in the room here. So, and these murals you'll see on the walls here, these are really prevalent to the history of Glasgow, because do you know Glasgow's patron saint? Do you know patron saint? So we've got a saint. So we've got a Saint Mungo. So St Mungo is the patron saint of Glasgow. So, and Glasgow becoming 850 years old is very relevant, because at the picture that now actually tells that story is up the top here. So see the top picture here, the archway here at the top there. So this is Glasgow getting some land in Iran, Libya. Now, beautiful countries. Had a friend who was living, had a living friend. He came across here because obviously things became not as nice as in Libya where he was born. So when he was brought up, he came from Libya to Glasgow. He was a great guy, but he showed me some beautiful pictures of Libya. Beautiful place, beautiful place. So hopefully in the future it'd be quite a nice place for people from Glasgow to Scotland to go and see Iran, Iraq. Very, very nice. Libya. Oh, the North Africa will be very nice. Beautiful. Anyway, which takes us up to the third floor. So you've now conquered the marble staircase, which is the tallest marble staircase in Western Europe. So you've managed to get a badge for that. You don't get a badge for that. But you've now conquered the marble staircase. You've come up the marble staircase building. So, picture gallery here, we have lots of pictures representing historical Lord Provosts. They're not in chronological order. However, there's a couple of really famous guys who have done really prominent things for Glasgow. Okay, and we'll be able to some scaffolding. No water. There you go. Guys. No water. So what we'll do, if you like to follow me, please, we'll just get round here and we'll tell you about a couple of really. So we're going to stop here. So basically if you go into Wikipedia, you can probably find out a wee bit of history about every single one and what they did in Glasgow. Unfortunately, I don't have that knowledge. And if I did, your tour would probably last about another 2 hours to probably tell you about everything. So I'm going to tell you about one interesting guy here who done really prominent things in the 1800s for the people of Glasgow and how we get clean water from here. It's this gentleman here, it's Robert Stewart, and he came from a wee village called Murderston. And basically he became a Lord Provost. He was an elected member first, so he was a member of the council, and then he voted in as being a Lord Provost, and he was also an engineer. So his job at that time was to, because remember Glasgow was built from a river, we've got the River Clyde, and the city was built from the river. So we can imagine in the early days of Glasgow's history, the water purification wasn't great because they were purifying river water. It wasn't that clean, so there was a lot of diseases going on there to do with bacteria and river and all that kind of things that goes on with that. So Robert Stewart, what he did was basically he took a loch, a loch's basically a big lake. It's a Scottish name for a lake. So he took a loch about 7.5 miles away from Glasgow called Loch Catherine, and he took a waterworks, built a waterworks with a water filtration system, a sewage system, and a pumping station, which then pumped and piped beautiful clean water from Loch Catherine, filtered all the way through. It's filtered 3 times into the city of Glasgow. So when citizens of Glasgow, like myself and yourself, turn on our water taps, we can drink beautiful, clear, pure, lovely tasting water from our taps, and that's down to him. So we have a lot of celebration for him. And in the parks in Glasgow, there's 2 beautiful big fountains. There's one in Kelvin Grove Park and there's one in Glasgow Green. Beautiful fountains, and that was to commemorate Robert Stewart's achievements for bringing water filtration and clean water into the city. So I'll tell you about 2 more. I'll give you 2 more, right? But we've got a couple of minutes. So this lady here, she was the first ever female Lord Provost for Glasgow, but that wasn't until 1960 to 1963. So until 1960, as you can see there, every other Lord Provost in Glasgow was male, and she basically became the first female Lord Provost of Glasgow. 1960. But nowadays we've got a current Lord Provost who's a female, and you can see lots of other pictures on the walls there. They've all had lots of female Lord Provosts since then, and she was the first one. So G. Roberts, that's who she's a school teacher. She's a school teacher, and she moved from teaching into politics. She then had politics to be voted by the peers. So basically she was voted to be the most voted person to become Lord Provost in the 3rd year. this lady here is Susan Dale. So Susan Dale in the 1980s, Glasgow became City of Culture in 1986, and we had a huge festival in 1986 and became the European City of Culture. It's Glasgow, which is again momentous time for Glasgow to become voted the City of Culture. 1986, and we had a thing called a Glasgow Garden Festival, which was like a huge. People came in and they built on the shipyards, which were basically not being used any longer. They were redundant, and became a lot of green site with beautiful flowers. And actually worked on this project in the Glasgow Garden Festival in 1986. There was a small railway line that went all the way right around, and it was my job to do all the kind of engineering for the tracks. And now I was a young person back then, so I was quite fit for that. So we sleepers down and we put rails in, and this miniature railway ran all the way right around the park. So that was to do with her. She went in and represented Glasgow for Glasgow to become City of Culture, which was great. So in 1986. Sorry?
When I was in primary
Yeah.
school, we did a trip to the garden
Garden Festival, yeah.
Hot summer, I remember.
Yeah, it was, very
And
much.
Princess Diana, she visited.
That's right, yeah, that time she. Sorry?
She's asking if they all worked here.
They all worked here, yeah, they all took the chain of office, so that's her chain of office. You'll see some of the early ones, when you look at the older pictures on there, they've all got the robes. The Lord Provost nowadays don't wear robes any longer. They're in a collection in the art galleries. So the robes are in a display case in Kelvin Grove Art Galleries. But everybody wears the chain. So there's two chains. There's a male chain and there's a female chain. They're both identical. They're just different sizes. So we've got a smaller chain for females and we've got a larger chain for males. So the chain of office, when they're doing the representing for anything for Glasgow, he or she puts on the chain of office, and that means that the first citizen of Glasgow. That's it. No, it's good. Peter's house. There's so much you can do. I only usually pick 2 or 3 different ones, you know. But you can pick a different one in every time, you know. But certainly, Pat Raleigh was the Lord Provost at that time. It was the teacher's spot.
Yeah.
It was Peter's house, and they'd done the painting for him. He got the commission for painting for Pat Raleigh. Sorry?
In the light, you take
I go lift. I disability people.
Yeah, I'm just going to press down for you, okay? So I need to use my pass first to get you in the lift. Okay, so we'll see you downstairs, okay?
Have a good day. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Closing. Opening.
Thank you.
Давай,
Где? Даем.
пожалуйста.
Спасибо. Вот так вот закончилась наша экскурсия.
Наша экскурсия.
С этих ступенек она начиналась. Давайте еще что тут успеем посмотреть, пока наши спускаются. Goodbye, bye. No, Mr. Lani? No, it's cold. Outside it's cold.
It's cold. Yes.
You're going for I wanted here for lawyer, you 1 minute in the waiting in my car. I just sign it and
Okay, no.
just my car is here at you have one people